Hello, I am Jessica Henderson, your Finance Director at the Landings Association. We would like to share this presentation with you that outlines the 2025 budget that your Board of Directors will be voting to approve on December 17, 2024. This budget includes revenue and expenses for both the Operating Fund and Capital Reserves Fund. Join me as we walk through the highlights and details for the Association's 2025 budget. The association staff, along with members of the Finance Committee, begin working on the upcoming year budget in June of each year. The items that we will be discussing include benchmarking that has been performed by various departments, updates to the fee and fine schedule, the 2025 operating budget, and major changes from the 2024 budget, along with new assets that are included in the 2025 budget. In 2025, staff are requesting an increase in the depreciation threshold from $1,000 to $5,000 per asset, and we will explain the impacts of that policy change, the 2025 capital reserves budget, and the next steps for approval. The Security Department benchmarks staffing levels with 81 other communities. While very few, if any, communities are exactly the same, evaluating this information is valuable. TLA values to be an employer of choice, and salaries, wages, and benefits are compared annually to over 20 other communities, organizations, and benchmarked against Community Associations Institute. Fees for marina storage and services were benchmarked to compare to 7 other local marinas. Storage yard fees for TLA's RV storage yard were compared to 9 other local parking and storage facilities. The 2025 fee schedule contains a few new items that were not previously captured on the 2024 fee schedule or have changes to their behavior. Those include TLA's conference room. When residents or groups reserve the conference room at the administration building and will serve food or drink, that cost in 2025 will be $50 compared to a $20 fee and a $100 refundable deposit. For sale by owner signs will be a $55 fee in 2025 compared to a fee or deposit environment. The fee schedule allows for the association to charge a credit card surcharge of up to 2% for each transaction. Your association handles more than 200,000 in credit card transactions each month. Each of the items on this slide are included in the current fee structure with increases in cost for 2025. Many of these increases are a result of the benchmarking process that we discussed at the beginning of the presentation. The MPO and PPO, or non-property owner and previous property owner club member fee, is a derivative of the annual assessment cost. In 2025, the annual assessment amount will be $2,518 per lot. The fees associated with the chipping yard, which has seen much activity through 2024, are set by the Evergreen facility. The association records all revenue, but only maintains 10% of the gross transaction. The fee schedule increases for wet, dry, and jet ski storage are a result of benchmarking to other local marinas. The 2025 operating budget is comprised of assessment and non-assessment revenue. Examples of non-assessment revenue would be vehicle registration, architectural review fees, marina fees, interest earnings, and service agreements. Total revenue for 2025 is budgeted to be $12,292,176. Total expenses, including the cost of goods sold, is budgeted to be $12,524,932 before depreciation. Net expense over revenue before depreciation is $232,756. The major changes in the operating budget in 2025 compared to 2024 are as follows. In 2025, the assessment allocation for the operating fund is $1.2 million more than 2024. The fee schedule increases, along with increased capacity with the new dry rack storage, increases boat storage revenue in 2025 by $117,000 compared to 2024. Vehicle registration continues to trend better than our 2024 budget, and the 2025 budget assumes those levels of participation will remain. Annual service agreements equal $44,000 more revenue in 2025 compared to 2024. The major expense changes in 2025 are the following. Total staffing includes salary and wages, medical and non-medical benefits for 79 FTEs. This is full-time equivalent employees. That is an increase of one full-time equivalent employee in 2025 compared to 2024. In 2024, the association saw an increase in employee participation and medical benefits. That trend is included for 2025's budget. In the 2025 budget, there are 5 studies included in the budget line for engineering studies. A couple of these include community path traffic and engineering reports for the Marsh Tower. The association has been fortunate to see flat rates for one of our largest operating expenses, the landscaping contract. This contract term ends in April 2025, and an expected increase is planned in the budget of $135,000 compared to the 2024 cost. In 2025, a 12% increase in property and casualty insurance premiums has been included in the budget. In addition to the existing items, there are also a few items that are new to the operating budget in 2025. These include 6 new security cameras, a jetter vacuum trailer to enhance efforts in street sweeping and stormwater drainage efforts, extended gate arms in areas of the community entrances, along with 1 additional full-time employee in security. As mentioned earlier, the association is requesting an increase in the depreciation threshold from $1,000 to $5,000. This increase will shift funding of those assets currently under that threshold from the Capital Reserves Fund to the operating fund. In total, there are 195 assets with a total cost of $502,921. The 2025 impact is $60,205 of assets previously funded through capital reserves will move under the operating fund umbrella. There is no change to cash flow with this change in policy. The 2024 budget is shown in blue, the 2024 year-end estimates are shown in orange, and the 2025 budget is shown in gray. You can graphically see the increase in expenses and cost of goods sold, a decrease in non-assessment revenue, which requires the allocation of assessment revenue to increase in 2025 compared to the number in 2024. This balance allows the association adequate cash flow that meets the policy requirement of an annual average $1.5 million in the operating fund. The 2025 capital reserves budget is $5.825 million, 37% on road expenditures, 25% bridges, structures, equipment, and lagoons, 17% on storm drains, 15% on marinas, 5% on paths and community trails, and 1% on association capital. As we compare the operating budget, we also would like to take a minute to explain the 2025 budget for the capital reserves and the major changes by category from the 2024 budget. The roads budget increased by $461,000, storm drains budget decreased by $64,000, the Marsh Tower observation allowance increased by $195,000 and was moved to 2025 versus 2024. The dry stack replacement increased by $84,232, which also includes a scope increase that will allow more capacity in Phase 3 of the dry stacks. $331,000 in project cost moved from various other years into 2025. The blue column represents the 2024 budget, orange the 2024 year-end estimate, and gray the 2025 budget. As you can see, the category association capital and community paths stay relatively the same, with an increase in marina expenditures mainly due to the timing of the payments for the dry stack Phase 3 project. Storm drains have a slight decrease in 2025 expenses compared to the 2024 budget, with roads and bridges, structures, equipment, and lagoons increasing in 2025. In 2020, the association engaged with a reserve specialist to review the assets, useful lives, component values. This study is industry standard to not only plan for the short term, but also the long term. The association updates this report each year with an on-site review every 5 years. In 2025, the reserve specialist will come back on site to do a visual inspection of the association's asset. These numbers represent the current replacement cost, fully funded amount, annual contributions and expenses through assessment revenue, and the beginning cash balance in the capital reserve fund. The board policy manual currently states that the association is to be 30% funded, which is achieved in 2025. The next steps for the 2025 budget will include the formal approval at the December 17th Board of Directors meeting. At that time, your board directors will approve the following: the 2025 fee schedule, the 2025 budget assumptions, 2025 assessment allocations between the operating and capital reserves fund, the 2025 operating budget, and the 2025 capital reserves budget. We thank you for joining during this presentation. The 2025 budget book will also be available electronically on our website, www.landings.org. Click Resources and then Governing Documents. There you will find the budget book along with the updated reserve study and other important information items.